Good evening, everybody. This is your host, Stefan Diviela, and I'm going to be talking about something that just happened last night, and that is AEW's Double or Nothing. After last year's All In event, we were hooked, we were captivated. We wanted to see exactly where AEW could take their pay per view. And honestly, they did not disappoint. This pay per view was amazing. I'm waiting for my co host to join me, but before I do, just a little background. If you guys don't know, All Elite Wrestling is a new wrestling company that Cody Rhodes, the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, and also Kenny Omega have formed. They have star power like Chris Jericho. I believe they're going to eventually sign the Lucha Brothers. Dustin. So they have a lot of talent on their roster, and that is an amazing thing. To have so much amazing talent on their roster. And, obviously, we'll talk about another surprise person who actually signed a multi-year deal with AEW last night. So I won't give that away. I will let my co-host herself come and give that away. But, guys, let's hang out for a little bit. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Double or Nothing. But before we talk about that, let's just reference, before we even start, I'm going to make a reference to something. We are not going to compare AEW to WWE tonight. That is not going to happen. Absolutely not. Those are two different products. This is a product that is just starting. WWE has a 67-year head start on AEW in terms of pay-per-views, in terms of everything that they're trying to do and trying to establish. And I don't think that it's fair to compare AEW to WWE at this point. If you want to have that discussion in a couple of years, sure, if I'm still around doing this, if we're still around doing this, hopefully we are, then we can have that discussion. But as for tonight, we're simply going to talk about the product itself. We're going to talk about the stars that were there. We're going to talk a little bit about the main event. We're going to talk a little bit about, some of the special moments that happened. And then on Wednesday, we'll have Mr. Chris Dillsworth come on, and he'll tell us his experience live from MGM in Las Vegas. So that will be a pretty cool contrast. So, guys, we will start out by, just as a point of reference, guys, if you guys did not hear, the Hangman Page match versus Pac actually got canceled because of creative differences, and they actually had to put Hangman Page into the big budget battle royal, I believe it's called. I'm not too sure. So, guys, if you guys actually are tracking what that battle royal was called, you guys can actually let. Give me 1 second, guys. Hopefully, I'll get this wonderful individual on so we can move forward with our show. It's a person I haven't been on with for some time, and that it makes me extremely happy that I actually have the privilege and the opportunity to be on with her. Oh, bam! There's
Hola.
there is our
Hola.
special. This is our host, my special co-host. I would like to personally say hello to you. I haven't been on with you in such a long time. It seems probably a couple months now. You've been getting some demand, so I want to say hi
Yeah.
to you. But also, how was Jack Dempsey's last night? Before we even say anything about the pay-per-view, how was the energy at Jack Dempsey's last night?
First of all, for you guys who don't know me, I am the Brooklyn Wolf of Makeup. This is April You Heard. I apologize that I'm not in my glam self. Allergies has taken a toll, and I refuse to do any of that. But I'm here. Jack Dempsey's yesterday was amazing. It was first of all, they had all 4 floors packed. It was a
Okay.
full house. The crowd was. We had a really good crowd. We had a lot of new faces coming in. We had a lot of new people that this was their first viewing parties. I actually met a couple people who it was their first viewing party, so I basically gave them the breakdown role. They had a fantastic time, and I hope to see some of you guys is there for the next pay-per-view. It was a really great turnout. I really enjoyed the show. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I guess I'm just a little lost for words because I had an amazing time last night, and it's been a while that I had a great time at not just at a viewing party but for a pay-per-view, and had a lot of fun in a while. So I could easily say that. But did you get to catch any of the pay-per-view?
Okay, so guys, here's a disclaimer, guys. So this is going to be kind of we're going to be shifting here because I have seen some of it, I have read some of it because unfortunately I didn't have the opportunity to view it yesterday because I was actually out yesterday and I didn't make it to the viewing party. I had all intentions to make it out to the viewing party. So April here, who is our on the ground expert for this Sunday. She will be helping me kind of put together the pieces. She'll be giving her kind of details. And obviously, there's a very special person that's near and dear to her heart that joined AEW last night. So I'm going to completely give her autonomy over
Yep.
whatever she wants to say about said individual. But we will start with another disclaimer. The budget battle royal, guys, if you did not catch it, if you realize that Hangman Page was in that match, it was simply because his match with Pac was canceled because of creative differences. Beforehand, I'm sure that those two will have a match down the line. But Pac is
Mm-hmm.
actually the Dragon Gate champion right now, and he takes that championship reign very seriously. He will not eat a
Yes.
loss while he is the Dragon Gate champion. So that is the only reason why he and Page did not have a match. Adam Page, I believe, was supposed to go over in that match. So that's why he was in that
Mm-hmm.
battle royal. But if you guys actually caught that battle royal, he actually won. He was the last entered in the budget battle royal, and he
He did.
won. So he is one of the number one contenders for the AEW Heavyweight Championship, which we will talk about the other a little bit later.
Yes.
How did that moment feel when he came out, and how did that feel to you? How did you react when Hangman Page came out?
First of all, the opening was great. Also, if you guys due to the whole Pac and Hangman Page match, since they did not have it at the show, there is a match on YouTube. All you gotta do is just look them up, Pac versus Hangman Page. This is a match that they were supposed to have at AEW, but they did have it in England since I think Pac also had some issues with his passport. Really great match. It would have been a wonderful addition for the show, but you know what? Shit happens. So if you do want to get that treat, go on YouTube right after this and check out that match. It's a good 22-minute match. It was a great match. I loved it. But when Hangman Page came out, first of all, I love that they started with their own battle royale. So I think their rules were that there was 21 contestants. The first 5 came in. I think it was for like the first 5 minutes. And then every 3 minutes they would add 5 more. If you want to compare that to WWE battle royale, I think it's the first 2. I think for the first couple minutes, and then I think it's every 30 seconds or every minute they add someone to get the pace. So I did like this new rules that they had. You can see the diversity in the roster. Oh my God. You have people from all over the freaking world, different styles. We now have, transgender people. We have femme gays in this. We had a freaking man with no legs do a 619. I forgot who he did it on, but it was really good. I really enjoyed the battle royale. To see Hangman Page come in, I was really excited to see him because we had absolutely no idea what he was going to do. Everyone was concerned about the whole issue between Pac and him. Is Hangman Page going to have another match? Who is he fighting? We didn't hear anything about it. So to see him join the battle royale and kick ass at the same time, I was really happy for it. And there was this, I'm new to the indie roster, so I didn't know who half of these people were, but I enjoyed them. And we had a couple of surprises. We got Sean Spears, formerly known as Ty Dillinger, that was in the Battle Royale. So that was a
Perfect
little bit of
10.
surprise. Tommy Dreamer, random. Billy Gunn came out of nowhere. It was like, oh, okay, that's right. The Perfect 10 was on there. And then we had one of my favorite wrestlers who I think I saw was in All In. I think it was Jimmy Havoc. I was very happy to see him because I've seen him in a couple matches and he's fucking crazy. He got him a staple gun and he was all for it. Overall, I really enjoyed this battle royale, and to see Hangman Page to be a contestant, the first contestant for the first AEW Heavyweight Championship, I'm all for it. Y'all know I'm a bullet babe, too sweet, all day, every day, and I was here for it. So I really enjoyed the battle royale. A lot of people didn't. They found it to be a
Speaking
little bit boring, but shit happens. It had a couple of botches here and there, but overall, I enjoyed it.
speaking of the AEW Heavyweight Championship, we had a legend of the ring, an absolute
Another surprise. Oh man, we got another surprise.
and that
On your
was a
freezer.
huge surprise. You see what happened? That was a huge
Stephon.
surprise having. You said what?
Mm-hmm.
That was a
No, you were
huge
breaking up in
surprise.
and out.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but a huge surprise was
The
actually
best there was, the
having
best there is, and the best there will be, bruh.
precisely Bret Hart actually unveiling the AEW Heavyweight Championship. That championship, I will not compare it to any other championship. It is its
Yes.
own belt. It is an amazing belt, and the person that you had
Mm-hmm.
actually come out and present that belt was the perfect choice in contrast to if we were going to do a slight comparison of the 24/7 championship, Mick Foley's unveiling of that championship. It was a great choice having Bret Hart actually come out and actually present that award. I would have, obviously if Ric Flair was out, I see Jacob did the woo. I think Ric Flair would have came out and did it if
Yeah.
he was okay, if he was good to go. But unfortunately, Ric Flair is still recovering. He actually was supposed to be at StarCast this past weekend, but he couldn't make it out because he's still recovering from his surgery. But I loved that moment. I loved the fact that we
It was a
had
really, really nice moment.
it was a beautiful moment. It was a beautiful moment, one, for the fans to actually see Bret Hart in a better light because last time we saw Bret Hart was at the Hall of Fame ceremony. And unfortunately, at the Hall of Fame ceremony, he was getting attacked. So from seeing him get
Yeah.
attacked to seeing him hoist up a brand new championship for a brand new company that is completely insane. And I love that was probably one of the moments of the night, because
Oh,
I
it
could just
definitely
imagine being in,
was.
I could just imagine being in Las Vegas and the pop that the crowd had when Bret Hart came out, and the even bigger pop that they had when you saw that heavyweight championship go up and it had AEW on it. Like this validated them.
Yeah.
This really made them a real company. That was the moment they became a real
Mm-hmm.
company because everybody was calling AEW a glorified T-shirt company. But now that
Mm-hmm.
glorified T-shirt company actually has a TV deal and a heavyweight championship. So we can't call them that anymore. Now they've
It's true.
established themselves as a true company. And it's not even with All In. I just think that last night, if there was any doubt about AEW, last night kind of cleared it. But the next thing we will talk about is
It
the
was. And I
women's
do want
fatal
to jump
four.
in on with the
Go
belt.
ahead. Go ahead,
We
April.
got
I'm sorry. I kind of
with
skipped
that little
off.
segment. Yeah, just relax. Relax. We're gonna get to everything. Relax. And also for the unveiling, we got our first storyline. Bret Hart called out Hangman Page was coming because he is a contester for whoever wins the Jericho Omega match. Whoever won that match to be fighting at the next pay-per-view. And MJF, I think that's his name. He came out and he basically called out Hangman Page, and looks like we got our first storyline build up out of that. First pay-per-view. They're not having. We don't know when they're gonna be on TV yet, so we're gonna have these little stories build up. So I really like that they had that, considering that the first couple matches that they had, they were just matches. I do want to put in that they had a nice balance of tag team matches, and their tag team division is oversaturated, and I really loved it. I don't want to keep mentioning with the WWE and all that. We've been talking about how their tag team division is not going very well. So it was really nice to see that, we actual tag teams, solid tag teams putting on great shows. So I really think that is one thing that I missed for all of that. MJF is money. I really liked him. I really, really liked him. I'm definitely going to be looking up a couple of matches that he's had in the past. Like I said, I don't know. I don't even know three-fourths of this roster. So everyone on this roster, I will be doing my research because I love indie wrestling and I want to get more into it. But I do want to touch up on the first Fatal Women's 4-Way match.
That's where I was going. It's all yours.
Okay, perfect. So we had the introduction of, who are these ladies? Because I have no idea who these ladies are. We got Kylie Ray, and I guess that's going to be AEW's Bailey. She got a little persona or happy and shit. So there was a couple of comparisons. Britt Baker, apparently she is, I think she's a dentist gimmick. I don't know. I don't know anything about her. Who is this woman?
Adam Cole's. I believe that's Adam Cole's girlfriend, if I'm not
That is
mistaken.
Adam Cole's girlfriend. That's the only thing I know about her, is that that's Adam Cole's girlfriend. So that's all I really know. And actually, it was a three-way match. Sorry about that. First of all, it was a three-way match, and then we got Nyla Rose, who was our first transgendered woman to be signed by a huge wrestling company, which just is a huge statement. And it just goes to show that, you know, this company is, it's just coming all over. They want everyone. There's no discrimination. They just want everyone who just loves wrestling and who wants to be a wrestler. And I'm here all for it. So the match opened, and then we got a special guest. You know, we all thought Brandy Rose was gonna come in because she was in her ring gear looking good. Like, okay, Brandy, you're gonna wrestle with us? Okay, let's see. And then she done brought out Awesome Kong, formerly known as Karma. And where the hell has this woman been? I have no idea. I'm out of retirement. And that was a huge surprise for us. You know, the last time that we saw her on TV was on that show Glow. If you haven't watched Glow, I definitely recommend it. It's a really great show. She's on it, and I really loved it. But they didn't utilize her. They didn't really utilize her. They just had her just, you know, for the pop, you know, first pay-per-view. You gotta have surprises, all that good stuff. So she wasn't really utilized. The crowd was happy for her. The match was pretty good, you know, considering that it was the first women's match. I really enjoyed watching all these ladies, and I'm looking forward to more. So, and I think it was Britt that won. Well, obviously, she is a Bullet babe, so she got a Bullet Club, and I see in the comments she's actually a dentist, and that's actually pretty fucking badass. So, I'm so with it. But I really enjoyed the match. It was a pretty good match. There wasn't really any highlights out of it besides, you know, Awesome Kong coming through. That's what I could honestly say out of that. But what you gonna say?
This is one of the matches I actually didn't catch. So, guys, if you notice that I'm deferring to April's expertise on this match, it's because I knew about the match, and I did hear on my way home last night that Awesome Kong did make an appearance. I just didn't know her impact. So I'm extremely is being towards everybody. Like, they are taking every single person. And I will get to the next match, which is Cody versus Dustin, because I feel like there's a lot to talk about with Cody Rhodes, because as much as he is a wrestler, he's an advocate for equality as well. And obviously he had some backstage stuff that I'll talk about after the match. If you guys did not see Double or Nothing, you guys missed a hell of a match with Dustin versus Cody.
Oh, wow.
This match was hyped up as Era versus Era. This match was hyped up as brother versus brother. This match was this match was Dusty Rhodes' boys tearing the entire house down.
That was the match of the night.
Oh my God. There was blading. There was tears. There was callbacks and stuff that they should have done in WWE if they could have. I loved the story that these two brothers told. It was a war to save, for Dustin, a war to save the Attitude Era, and for Cody, it was a war to establish himself as the true American Nightmare and as the future of the Rhodes Empire. And I think that in a story like that, you got to give it to both of these guys, because it's a passing of the torch more than anything, because Dustin came out as the natural, and that was insane. And Dustin is super over. Cody is super over. Before these guys even touched, there was "This is awesome" chants, "Holy shit" chants. So I loved the story it told. So I'm gonna let April jump in, because I'm gonna talk about the end of the match after April speaks, because that was one of the. If you love storyline, you'll love what happened at the end of the match. April, go ahead. What do you got?
Yes. First of all, this match was the match of the night. This was definitely, it was everything. It was such a nostalgic match. Not considering, you know, like, the story was amazing. We got brother versus brother, and then the blood. Oh my God, so much blood. People were getting worried that this man was gonna die, because he was just leaking, and even like that whole ring was just bloodied as hell. Cody had so much blood on him. It was it was completely insane, and it was also a very, very classic match. You know, like you had said, like you got, you know, Dustin in the ring trying to save the Attitude Era, and then we have Cody who basically killed the Attitude Era, and it was just, I loved it. It was a really nice. Cody pulled a nice little stunt, you know, bringing out Triple H's throne and then getting the sledgehammer and destroying the throne, basically dethroning Triple H. That was a really cute. Okay, I guess we were all just waiting for them to start putting things out for WWE, and I don't know what's more disrespectful than destroying Triple H's throne, considering where he is and how far he is in the company. So I love that. That was definitely wonderful. But the match was so classic. It was so early 90s, like just the way they were wrestling and then the way with the story. I loved it. It was a very, very emotional match as well. Like, we were supposed to get this match on WrestleMania years ago and we never got it. So I'm really thankful that AEW gave us this match that we've all been wanting. And I loved it. It was an A+ match.
I love the fact that they both used Crossroads. That was very interesting to see both of them use.
That was just back and forth.
That was amazing. And guys, like I said, I'm a storyline person, so it got me in terms of the end of the match where Dustin is sitting in the corner and Cody's about to walk out of the ring.
He got
comes
shook.
back, grabs a mic, and comes and grabs a mic and says, "You can't retire right now. You can't retire right now." Because when I came into AEW, I signed up for a match against the Young Bucks. And he's like, I don't need a friend. I don't need a partner. And I have an older brother. And this moment made me think of my brother, Gene. And I started to cry. Because, as a younger sibling, you're always going to need your older siblings, no matter what happens. So I started I started crying, and I thought of my brother. And it pulled on our heartstrings because we all have that person that you always run to. You're like, this is my defender. This is my protector. This is somebody that I truly love and I respect. And even if you're going at that person with everything you've got, that's the person that you want standing beside you at the end of the day. And that is what that story told. I loved the reactions because they were genuine. You could tell that was probably the only part of this show that wasn't scripted. It was the only part of this show that had the raw emotion that we as wrestling fans should crave for, because if a wrestler can't make you feel, then they're not a good wrestler. That's the thing. If I get out on stage and I'm saying something and I don't make you feel it, then I need to go back to developmental and practice that, because it is my ability to make you feel, to make you believe the story that I am telling you. But for them, I don't think it was a story at all. I think this was truly two brothers that love each other. Dustin that came to just do a favor for Cody and put Cody over. And then afterwards, it's just, I want you with me. So this is going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if Dustin becomes executive vice president by the end of the month. I'm just saying.
Same.
So, April, what is your thoughts on the finish of the match? What is your thoughts?
I loved it. You know, I'm always a sucker for when it comes to relatives being in the ring, and especially with a story like this, and we know how close they were with their father. And, I was just watching this match and I'm like, oh, Dusty would have been happy. Like, he would have loved this, not only just to see his two boys, fighting in the ring, but, starting something new. Like, this is a new journey for them. And this is also a new journey when it comes to, the whole wrestling community. Like, this is definitely something new. And then, to get a match like that, which was, I felt it. Like, I felt it. I was really emotional. Everyone at Jack Dempsey's, like, they were all quiet. Like, there was silence when the match was going on. Like, whenever, like, all the pops, when, Dustin was bleeding, and, when they were going back to back on the crossroads. Like, other than that, we had those pops, but there was a lot of moments that there was silence, and we felt the love there. And then they're going to be having their fight with the Young Bucks. I'm really here for it, and I really love that, Brandy was that heel wife. She friggin' speared this poor man outside of a friggin' ring. And it was really cute how they were trying to get her out. And it was just, that woman was reckless. And I'm so here for it. And I love them. I love them both. I grew up watching Goldust. I wasn't always a big fan of Cody while he was in WWE. But I guess it was on my timing. Since every time I would watch a match with him, it wasn't a good match, or it was just there. So I'm really happy to see, Cody doing his thing and actually growing a love for him now that I'm older and appreciating him. And, you know, just to see a lot of differences between when they were in there and they were on the main roster with WWE. So I'm looking forward to it, and I'm excited for their match with the Young Bucks.
There was a couple of things in that match that some people have mentioned. Some people mentioned Earl Hebner, legendary referee Earl Hebner. Yes, he was ref for that match, and I wouldn't have seen anybody else except for Mike Chioda refereeing that match. But that was a great choice in referee. Good old JR, who made the match. If you were watching it, not live, if you were actually at home watching it, made the pay-per-view so much better just by the way he calls a match. And
you can hear a
it took me back to my childhood.
You can hear a difference in him.
Terms, I'm sorry. I become such a Mauro Ranallo guy now because it's like he's the new JR to me. But there's nothing beats the classic. And I think this was a match that showcased classic versus new. And it did it to an amazing contrast. And I loved it. I loved everything about this match. My hat goes off to Cody, who after the match had an interview and he spoke about not seeing color. And he made a statement. He said, "I don't see color." And his wife told him, "Then you don't see my situation." And that opens up another kind of realm into colorism, classism, and all that. But you could tell from where the Young Bucks, Cody, Hangman Page, Kenny Omega are coming from. This is wrestling for all. This isn't wrestling for a few. This is wrestling for everybody. And I actually love that. And that's the thing. That to me means so much to me as a wrestling fan. So you know what I mean? So our next match, Abel, what is our next match? You choose the next match, because I've been choosing the matches all night.
I don't really want to get into too many of the matches that night. Oops, there we go. Of course. That's beautiful.
No, I'm still here.
I'm
still here.
Before Stefan gets his life together, I just want to let you guys know that you are watching the Unpopular Review powered by Yup, I Like Wrestling. Brooklyn Wolf of Makeup. This is April, you heard. And gentleman who stepped away is Stefan Duyella, the Many Face God. We are talking about last night's pay-per-view of AEW's first event of Double or Nothing. If you guys haven't seen it, I'm pretty sure a bunch of the matches are on YouTube. If you have rented it, I think you have it 24 hours if you want to see it again. I really enjoyed it. So let's go on to, I don't know, I think I want to talk about not one of the big matches, but I don't know if you got to see any of the matches, but there was definitely one match that caught my eye, and it was Best Friends versus Angelico and Jack Evans. I don't know who these men were, but it was definitely a high-flying match. I really enjoyed that. If you guys know about these gentlemen, school me, please. Do you know who these guys are, Stefan?
So, guys, I'm gonna just say to you, April. This is one thing that I don't really know about, and I should. I'm learning about indie wrestling as I go along, and you know, April kind of named me the de facto indie guy in Unpopular Reviews, and that's not exactly the case. When I start, I watch a bunch of everything, so I kind of learn who people are. So I know who Sonny Kiss is. I do know who Sonny Kiss is, but I don't know who, you know, Britt Baker was before maybe hearing about Adam Cole. So I'm catching up. So guys, we're not beyond learning. So if you guys want to put some links and some stuff in the comments, go ahead. We'll take a look at it.
Yes.
But I will say it was both the trouble. It was an amazing tag team match. I am a tag team guy. I love tag teams. April, you alluded to tag teams earlier, and how on the WWE side, I made the illusion that we're not going to actually talk about WWE that much tonight. WWE doesn't have good tag teams or doesn't have a good system to handle their tag teams. AEW put on an amazing match. The Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers. And one half of Lucha Brothers, which is Pentagon Jr., is our own Chris Harris's favorite wrestler. April, please, how did you feel about this match?
First of all, wow. This match was completely hyped up, and it had its reasons to be hyped up. I've only seen Lucha Brothers in the past, like, not full matches and glimpses and the things that they can do. They're fucking amazing. And we all know how great the Young Bucks are. To see them in the ring, oh man, it was tag team magic, because it was also a brothers versus brothers situation, and it was just non-stop action. I loved it. I completely loved it. I think this was supposed to be a 60-minute match. I don't know if I heard like incorrectly, but I just kept hearing Jim Ross saying, "Oh, this is gonna go on for 60 minutes." It's like, holy shit, 60 minutes. Okay, all right, but it was action packed. I think it was probably maybe one or two botches, but they were just so minimal. I really didn't give a shit about. But it was so fucking good. High flying, kicks everywhere. I was actually thought that the Lucha Brothers were gonna win, because they caught a good 4 or 5 pins, and I was like, holy shit. So, to see the Young Bucks, hold the belts, I guess they're undefeated, and I want to see more of them. And I think they're gonna. I think the Lucha Brothers are officially on the main roster now with AEW. I think they're finishing up some contracts with AAA, and I think it was another brand.
I think you're completely right. And if they aren't under contract, they will be a lock under contract sometime soon. And I was about to mention AAA as well. If you are familiar with AAA, then you know that the Lucha Brothers were the former AAA tag team champions until the Young Bucks went down there to Mexico and actually beat them for the AAA tag team championships. So there is such amazing things happening in tag wrestling around the world. So many great tag team specialists, and the Young Bucks
they're so good.
Bar none, one of the greatest tag teams this generation's ever seen. And the Lucha Brothers, I will take nothing away from them both. They are actually the greatest tag team to ever touch foot on this earth. The things that Ray Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. do in that ring are second to none. Anywhere they go, I'm sure as singles competitors, as tag specialists, they are completely amazing. And somebody said in the comments, they are over. This is a match where you had two teams that were over. So there was feuding chance. There was so much intrigue. And like you said, April, there was near falls after near fall after near fall. And, the Young Bucks took it. And that is what real tag wrestling is about. It's supposed to put you at the edge of your seat. You're not supposed to be able to predict who is going to win. And I know somebody in the comments just said this. They booked themselves to win again. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. I really don't think that we need to hear that. I think that this match showcased everybody. There was no losers last night at all. The matches showcased every single performer and actually gave us a taste of what is to come for AEW and all their performers. There's another show in July, and there's also another show in August. So you can play now, but you're going to keep watching. You're going to watch in July, you're going to watch in August. So that's pretty much my opinion. April, I believe you have a lot more to say about that.
So, a little bit. Let's touch up on these
comments
a little bit. We got George Samuel Lewis. What he said? Usos, the Hardys. Really, so we're not mentioning them. No, we're not mentioning them because we are talking about AEW. We are talking about the tag teams at AEW. We will probably have another episode where we could talk about who are the greatest tag teams in history. Then we could mention them, but we are talking about AEW and who they're going to be coming up on. We talk about WWE all the damn time. This is something new, something that we haven't touched up on, so we will get touched up on that. Let's see, Cameron, that and Chris Jericho and Kenny. Yeah, we're definitely going to be talking about that next for sure. Cody versus Dustin should have been the main event. I was actually thinking that should have been the main event, but I guess since, this is the one for they have the Jericho, like Alpha and Omega, so I guess that was building up to be even more. So, you know what? You can digress. Reggie gave us actually the exclusives list of who is exclusive to AEW, so thank you, Reggie, for that. If you guys want to check that out, you're not sure who is fully on the main roster. Yeah, so Stefan, do you want to jump on this last match?
Okay, so I'm gonna do a sidebar really quickly and just express something. As wrestling fans, we have the tendency of being extremely fickle when it comes to real wrestling. Last night was a show for real wrestling fans, and that is the diehard wrestling fans. That is not That is wrestling fans that stay out till 12 midnight to get an autograph from their favorite wrestler. That night was for wrestling fans that would pay thousands of dollars to fly out somewhere just to see somebody in a gymnasium perform. Now, if you're going to compare AEW to a vaster, larger company like WWE, of course they're going to suck in comparison to them because WWE has been around for years and years and years and years and years, and will continue to be around and will continue to thrive. AEW is just coming up. So I want to express that you guys need to kind of give it the benefit of the doubt because I'm hearing a lot of crap about, oh my God, it's not WWE. And we're hearing about tag teams in WWE. We're hearing about what we're not comparing it to. And the fact is that when we do these review shows for AEW, I'm not going to compare it to WWE at all. Yes, Cody took a major shot at the crown at Triple H, but it was in that moment that he was saying subliminally, I'm establishing myself. It's our time now. That match that he had established that the Attitude Era is over. It's time for something new. That is what they're ushering in. If you cannot handle that, then you don't have to watch. It's simple. Watch something else. Watch cartoons. It doesn't have to be all that. I mean, I've seen so many comments in Yep, I Like Wrestling, and it's hilarious to me. You guys have clamored for real wrestling. You have clamored for wrestlers to take the initiative and build storylines. And it's just, we finally get that. We finally get 4 or 5 wrestlers that say, I want to give you exactly what you want. A product by the wrestlers for the wrestling fans. Imagine that. Wrestlers who actually are storyline. Wrestlers who actually are putting together matches for you, the viewer at home. So for you to even compare it to WWE,
AEW is for us.
About,
it is for
it's crazy.
us. Like, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Okay, I get it. And you know what? I'm sorry, but Sami Zayn is right. Sami Zayn, those 3 weeks straight that he was going off about how we're unappreciative, how we only give a fuck about what comes on, how we're all sheep. He is not wrong because all we do is talk shit and talk shit. We're going to still watch Monday Night Raw. We're still going to watch Tuesday Night SmackDown, and we're still going to watch Wednesday Night NXT. We are going to the meet and greets. Yes, we are fit. I wasn't looking for something that I was there for a good show. I wanted to see wrestlers that I've never seen wrestle before, and I wanted to see a community come together.
Guys, we are having a technical difficulty. Bear with us for just a moment. Bear with us for just a moment. I know that April the Brooklyn will comparing AEW to viewing wrestling product actually, and as a wrestling, I do feel the need to express that to you guys. It is something that it's more than more, George. I mean, you're the overseer. You know, just wait to see more. That's my thing. Wait to see more. And see more. You should. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna shut down this broadcast. I'm gonna reopen another one. Give me a second.